Hey beauties, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to do a get ready with me trying out new products. I have a plethora of things here. I have the new Jouer concealer. I have another powder lipstick formula from Chanel. I have some affordable options from Kokie Cosmetics. They were so kind to send me over some things. And then I'm finally going to be using these Milk makeup liners on my eyes, because you guys need to see these in action. They're pretty flippin' awesome. And then I know you guys all have been waiting for me to do a review on this. I didn't want to do just I don't know, I was just like, I don't want to do another just straight up eye look. So I've incorporated it into this get ready with me. But if you're only interested in the Cranberry palette from Natasha Denona, I'm going to go ahead and leave the tutorial starting right here so you can skip to that. But I've got just a little bit of everything here. So if you want to see how I created this look, just keep watching. All right, I'm going to start off with a product that I have been trying like on my lips and other ways like that, but I have not used it on my face. I've used it mixed in with other foundations, but I have not used it just strictly on my face. And it's from Hallberg Cosmetics. She sent me this a while ago, and I just want to try it on my face alone. And it's the Infinity Glass Glossy Glow and Primer for face, eyes, and lips. So it's like multi-purpose. I already have MAC Skin Refine Zone just on my pores, and then I'll go in with a pore filling primer after. But right now I want to take this, and I'm not going to take much. You can see it's like a gel. It's really cool. It's very different than anything else I have ever put on my face, like even different than, what was it, that J1 Jelly Pack. But I'm just gonna kind of apply this to the perimeter of my face, but I don't want it on my pores because I don't want to add any extra shine there. It's really nice because it's not sticky, it's not too slippery, it's not oily. It has a really good texture to it. Now that's definitely given me a glossy sheen, so I'm going to take my Tarte Timeless Smoothing Primer and smooth out these pores. I really like the way this looks. Like, it gives me a really nice glow, but like I said, it doesn't feel heavy on my skin like a lot of illuminating primers do. So let's go in with a foundation on top. Kokie Cosmetics actually sent me over several different things I'm going to try out today. Unfortunately, the foundation is way too dark for me, and so I'm just going to go in with one that I know anyway so I can see what it looks like on top of this primer. So I haven't used this one in a while. This is the Hourglass Vanish Stick Foundation in the shade Buff. So I thought, hey, let's try this because this one is a little bit more on the matte side. So I want to see what it looks like with this primer underneath. Hallberg Cosmetics Sponge. I have been so sick, you guys, and I didn't even know it. Like, not like throwing up, but my ear on this side had been hurting quite a bit. Like, I kept hearing myself echoing in my head on this side. And I just thought, you know, well, maybe it's just stress. My ears are super sensitive. Like, if it is cold outside and it's windy or anything, I'm talking like 70 degrees outside, 70, 65, and it's windy, I get little earaches and then they'll go away. So I kept thinking, oh, it's just something stupid. Well, then the other ear started doing it, and Kelsey kept telling me, you can't hear me, you're not listening to me. Then Eric was doing the same thing. I'm like, I am listening. And apparently I just couldn't hear because I started getting that happening in both sides of my ears. And I went to the doctor and I had a whole lot of fluid. This one was turning into an infection. My head was hurting. My ears were hurting instead of just like echoing. My throat started hurting and like my skin started getting splotchy. You know the drill. So I was like, oh my goodness. I took 2 days off. I know you guys probably like, you took 2 days off, you like upload all the time. Yeah, my butt was in bed because I felt so terrible. Now, I don't know how you guys feel, but I feel like This looks so good. I love this combo. It's really, really pretty. Now I'm going to go in with a new concealer. This is from Jouer, and it is the Essential High Coverage Liquid Concealer. The shade I grabbed is Creme Cafe, and this is the first time I am using this one. I've been testing out the Huda one. I think I already have a review on that one. I've been testing that one out, but I have not tried this one. It's very, very creamy. Kind of smells like Studio Fix fluid. Blend it out very easily. I think this actually looks so good underneath my eyes. Like, it's really smooth, it's lightweight, not too heavy. Beautiful. Now I'm just going to go with my normal powders because, again, I'm using a new concealer, new primer, so I'm just going to go in with something normal for my powders. Huda baking powder underneath my eyes. I use the shade Pound Cake. I'm going to put it on my chin as well to bake. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and bake my nose with this powder as well. Why not? This is a cute look, I must say. Now I'm going to go with my Chanel Loose number 30 for the rest of my face. Stellium 794. I always dust it down below. I put more powder on the lower part of my face than I do the top. Usually I will just take the excess from the brush and set to my forehead. Go ahead and dust off the bake. Oh yeah, this concealer looks really nice. I am happy. Like, it's not too thick or anything. Looking good. Now this is another thing sent to me from Kokie Cosmetics. This is the Powder, Contour, and Highlight Palette. And I think this is the lighter shade number CP710 Universal. This is what it looks like, and I'm going to go in with this shade right here, and then I'm probably going to take a little bit of a break because they are about to mow my lawn. I might just do like my eyes while they're doing that and do a talk over, maybe. But right now, we're going to go in with this guy. 127 from Zoeva in the center bottom shade. So I'm using the Natasha Denona Cranberry Palette, and I'm using the second shade on a 227 from Zoeva. I am picking the product up and I am placing it on the outer V and then slightly working it upward. I'm basically having to do this over and over and over again to really build this up, and I had to take a little spoolie and get the hard pan off of it. But as long as I'm working slowly and going back and forth, I'm able to build it up. It is just slightly patchy, but take your time and we can get it in there. And then I initially tried to go in with the Hourglass number 19 in that deep purple shade. And I try to pack that on the outer V, but it just really isn't adhering as well. So I do the same thing as I did in the gold palette, and I took the MAC 239, this is the synthetic version, and I start really packing that shade on the outer V. Now this takes me some time to do. This is not like just one and done. I am packing and packing and packing, and then I'm going back in with the Hourglass number 19 and having to blend out the edges and kind of smoke it out a little bit. And now for the star of the show, the very first shade on a MAC 242. I'm taking that dry and I am putting that all over the lid. Look at that, how beautiful it is. And I kind of tap over that dark shade so we can kind of hide a little bit of that patchiness we got. But oh my gosh, that looks so beautiful. I just worked that shade back and forth and had zero issue. And again, I am using this dry. Now on a Hourglass number 20, I'm taking that peachy orange gold shade and I am running that all along the lower lash line. I don't want too much color down there, but I want something. And then I thought, hey, why not go ahead and take that right above the inner part of my eye, right above that purple, and just add in a little bit of that there as well and just kind of buff it out. I thought it looked really pretty. Now with the MAC 242, I'm taking the very last shade in the palette and I am highlighting my brow arch and also the inner corner. And now I am going to go in with the Milk Makeup Gel Longwear Liners. For the top, I am using CEO, which is just a very dark brown. You can see how well this just glides onto the eye and it's just, oh, it looks so good. And then for the bottom, I like to wait for the top to dry just so that there's not any transfer. And I take some kind of either wet wipe or a Q-tip or something and get any kind of shadow or transfer out of my waterline before I go in with the nude shade. And that shade is called BCC. And I go right on the inner rim of the lower lash line and it is so good. And then this is the finished eye look. Eyes are done, so now I'm going to finish up the face. This is another product from Kokie, and this is the Blush Up Blush Palette in Demure. I'm going to use my Linda Hallberg 310, and I believe I'm going to go in with this middle shade right here. And then I also have their Strobing palette. This is, oh, there's a little paper. This is what it looks like. I have like this pink kind of theme going on. So I'm gonna take this light pink on my Linda Hallberg 306. And that is actually quite pretty. It's not super metallic. I think it looks more metallic on camera, but it's smooth. Yeah, that looks good. Impressed, impressed. This kind of reminds me of the Cover FX, like perfect, I don't remember. It's a palette from Cover FX with highlighters in it. Kind of reminds me of that. Like this is not bad. This is really pretty. Sicily powder to buff, and then my large powder brush from Sonia Kashuk. And now I have one more product before I tell you guys my thoughts on everything I used on my face. And this is from Chanel. This is the Rouge Allure Liquid Powder. Again, we've got that powder word in here, and I'm just trying to find a true powder lipstick, and this is the shade that I got. So we're gonna be really bright today, but it's okay. And it has this little applicator. I've played with it a little bit, but I haven't like actually worn it. So let's give it a go. There's nothing on my lips right now other than like a little bit of a highlighter. You do have to squeeze up a little bit to get product. This is like the best kind of application I can get with this tip. It makes it look kind of, but when I move my lips around, I don't know. I'm gonna get a lip brush and kind of perfect this because this isn't the look that I'm going for. All right, so I feel like I should just start off with the lipstick because honestly, it gets on my nerves. It feels very lightweight. It's kind of like the MAC ones that I just reviewed, the Powder Kiss. But the Powder Kiss are so much easier to apply, and every time like I used a lip liner to try to go around the edges and then fill back in, it would soften the edges back out, and I get it, it makes it look kind of powdery and like feathered in, and that can be pretty, but it can also be annoying. And I find that when I move my lips around, the product can kind of get moved around to where it can look less opaque in certain areas. So this, for the price, I really wouldn't suggest it. I don't know. I don't even know that like it's very lightweight. It really is, and the color is beautiful. I just think it's kind of annoying to apply. And I like the MAC color. I don't remember what, I think it's Revelation, something Revelation, Shocking Revelation maybe? I don't remember. But I feel like that color was so much better than this one, and this is like probably more than double the price or right at it. So for me, unfortunately, I think these are a pass. I think they tried. There's some pros and cons. Again, if you like something that really airy, maybe a nude would be better because you could just throw it on and not have to worry about it. But this color, I think, can be a little bit problematic. So not a huge super fan of this guy here. For this stuff that I tried from Kokie, I absolutely love the highlighting palette. I think that this is beautiful. It's smooth. It doesn't add a lot of texture. It gives me glow, like right in between. So it's not too much, but it's not really fair either. I feel like you could either bump this up or wear it very naturally. And if you sprayed your face first with Fix Plus and then went in with this, I think it would be great. I think it's a really good price point and it actually looks good. The blush I thought was beautiful as well, blended out. Loved the color. This was probably my least favorite thing. I found it blended, and I won't use all the colors in here, honestly. I like this color, but I did find it to be just slightly patchy, just slightly, nothing major. Not that I would not suggest it, but it's my least favorite out of the things that I tried from them. This isn't something I would probably pick up again, where the other two I would. This is something else I was supposed to try out today and I forgot to. I just saw it in my pile. It's from Shiseido. It's for the eyes, lips, or cheeks, but I don't want to add anything to my eyes because I love them and I'm liking my highlights. So we'll just use this for another day. The concealer, I think that this actually looks pretty good. It's very natural. I think I'll like it better with my under eye anti-fatigue primer from Becca. I think it looks smooth right now, but it is slightly dry, just slightly. Not bad though. I just think it's going to look better with that primer. So I will get back to you guys. I like the color, I like the coverage. I don't think this is full coverage by any means, but again, a little bit more on the natural medium side. These Milk liners, I have been going on and on and on and on and on and on about these, and I wanted to show them actually applied on camera today. These are so creamy, you guys. They don't transfer, they don't move, they do not budge. I'm telling you, I wake up in the morning, if I have not gotten everything out of my waterline, I will still even have the nude in my waterline. That does not happen. Like, that just does not happen. I love these so much. I think I like these better than the Marc Jacobs ones. The Marc Jacobs ones, my biggest issue was that they would get on my contacts. These don't. And again, if nothing else, if you've been looking for the perfect nude, because I used to use the chromographic pencil from MAC, an NC15 NW20, and that one would move throughout this day. This does not move. Like, I did at 20, I don't know, I wore the Huda concealer for like 13 hours. And my liner was still there. Like, this is so, 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 so good. And they have several different colors, so highly suggest these. I'm rather impressed with the Infinity Glass. I think this is awesome. If you are looking for something to give you that glossy eye, it is going to make your eyeshadow move, so it's more like an editorial thing, but I like the thickness of this. I like that it's not oily, but it's not too much of a gel. It's like right in between, so you can mix it without really, like, sometimes you can put an oil into a foundation and they can kind of separate on your face, and I haven't had that happen with this. And then using it as a primer today, I think it gave me a really nice glow. It didn't alter my foundation, as in it didn't make it separate or anything like that. And I feel like it looks just a little less matte. So this is a really nice one as well. And you can put this on top of your lips. I would try it with this lipstick, but because of how much this moved when I used the applicator to put the last like little bit on, I'm scared that if I put a gloss on top of this, I'm totally going to destroy it. But I like that this has multi-functions and that every time I've tried it, it has worked out really well. Now, for what I know you guys are all waiting for, the Natasha Denona Cranberry Palette. So this is 50-50 for me. Like, this is very strange because this shade right here has already like shrunken up in the pan. It's very strange to me. I don't get it. And like, when you touch it, it feels like it's almost wet, but it's not a matte finish. I wish that she had kept both of these matte. If you remember the teal color in the gold palette, I liked that one, but you did have to work with it. You definitely have to work with both of these shades. This one I really had to keep blending and blending and blending it out. And then this one I had to pack on and then try and blend out. So these I feel like are a little bit problematic and a little bit more difficult to work with. You're going to have to spend time if you're wanting to pack these on. This shade is a repeat This one's just okay, but I love this shade. Like, I will keep this palette mainly for this shade right here. And I really like the eye look that I got. This color saved it though for me because it kind of covered up any kind of patchiness or anything that I got out of these two just by tapping it over the edge. And I loved this shade last time, but I'm not sure if I showed you guys the swatches, but I will insert them now. I can't recommend this palette because I don't think it's a great palette, especially for the price. For me, it's really just all about this shade, which really reminds me of the holiday palettes from last year. If you remember the blue from the Aries that I was obsessed with, this purple shade here reminds me of that. And that's literally the only reason why, like, I like this palette. I can't say that because I don't like the palette. I like this shade right here. So this is not a must-have. This is something that if you just like the colors and you're willing to work with it, okay. But honestly, not for the price and not for the amount of effort that you have to put into it. But I have to say I do like my eye look, but I just think it's problematic, and Natasha Denona has me on a roller coaster. We're back and forth, and this is definitely on the down, and this is just the only thing saving it. All right, you guys, that is it for this look. I hope you enjoyed this. Let me know down below what things that you were interested in, what things you liked, what you didn't, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys.